Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. While questioning Clyde, Chad loses his composure, and Alex teams up with Kristen. As soon as Kristen notices Alex walking into the square, she stops him. She informs him that Brady filled her in on all of Teresa's relapse. Enraged, Alex tells Kristen that Teresa simply slipped and begs her to go in peace. Brady seems to be concerned in Kristen in ways more than just her being his child's mother. Paulina informs Abe that her thoughts was calmed down by last night's actions when they wake up together in bed. He advises her to attempt to calm her thoughts once more. He leans in to give her a kiss as she encourages him to go for it. Clyde wakes up in his cell and reaches beneath his cot to retrieve his buzzing phone. Clyde yells that it wasn't the person's call to make, clearly upset by the news he just received. He promises to make those Sonsoft bitches realize his potential after hanging up. Police surround a lifeless body in a warehouse and stand next to a young man who is handcuffed. When Harris and Jada get there, Harris goes up to Officer Goldman, who gives him a troubled look. It was her first time firing a gun, let alone shooting someone, she told the detective. With a reassuring smile, he sends her off with another cop. Although Harris and Jada concur that it was a solid bust, they needed the dealer to be alive. Jada walks past Rafe to see how Goldman is doing. Harris becomes enraged and tells his boss that the deceased dealer was their direct conduit to Clyde. Harris needs the source, but Rafe advises him to accept the victory of taking drugs off the street. To his dismay, Rafe is defending Goldman for a clean shot when Everett and Chad arrive. According to Harris, he called the journalists to prevent them from publishing Lucas's tale. Though he is furious, Rafe grudgingly accepts to collaborate with Chad and Everett. As he asks the commissioner, Everett records a video using his phone. Kristen waxes lyrical in the square about her and Brady's attachment to their child. If she ever considers getting back together with him, Alex queries. He urges her to return the ship to shore even though she claims it has sailed. She is aware that all he wants is for Brady to disappear so he can have Teresa all to himself. Alex acknowledges that he worries about Teresa constantly depending on him. Kristen feels that she can assist him. Jada questions a young male officer in the warehouse. According to his account, he saw a flash out of the corner of his eye as soon as he and Goldman arrived, and Goldman immediately took off after the perp. The dealer was dead when he heard 2 shots. Before assisting a shaken Golden, he wrote in his report where the suspect's gun was found. When Clyde walks into the jail visitor's room, Everett and Chad are seated. As Clyde teases him, Chad clenches his fists. He is then made fun of by Everett and Chad for how much money he lost in the narcotics bust. They are interested in hearing his account of events, but Clyde acts naive. Since beginning his prison sentence for the horrific murder of Chad's wife, he maintains that he has been an excellent prisoner. He claims he can still see her pleading with him to spare her life while he is fixed on Chad. Chad goes at Clyde, but Everett stops him. Gathering himself, Chad announces that Clyde's terror is about to stop. Chad will be quite happy to announce on his newspaper's top page that he has lost his wealth and influence. Afterwards, Clyde would languish in jail, never to be seen again. Rafe confronts Harris in the warehouse for keeping him in the dark about Lucas and the media. All Harris had to do was ensure the attack proceeded without a hitch. Rafe retorts that something went wrong. According to Harris, Goldman was a distinguished marksman in her academy class, but Rafe asserts that shooting at the range differs significantly from shooting in a professional setting. She will now have to see a therapist before returning to her job. Harris thinks that everyone will need to pitch in. Rafe laments that it's impossible to predict the consequences once the piece is published. Subsequently, Jada talks about her first shooting experience with a moved Goldman. As Jada and Rafe reassure Goldman it was a clean shooting, the other officer arrives. That may be, but Goldman finds it difficult to accept ending a life. Jada reassures her that she will overcome this. Kristen claims in the square that everyone will benefit if she is more involved in Brady's life and he is less involved in Teresa's. Is she ready to return to Brady? Alex wonders. She is unsure. She may find it difficult to experience constant hurt, yet she will always have space in her heart for him. Kristen informs them that in order to reach their agreement, they will need to communicate frequently. He gives her a position at Titan, where she will work closely with Brady. She will think about it. He also advises her to add family sleepovers and extend Brady's visits. Paulina informs Abe about Johnny and Chanel's wedding while she's still in bed. She receives a call from the hospital while she's preparing. Paulina informed me that the tumor had gotten bigger and that her surgery will now take place at the end of this week after we hung up. She tells Abe, taking a deep breath, that she would not let her fear to overcome her. He gives her his word that they will overcome this together. Clyde cautions Everett in Statesville not to remember what he learned today. He would be devastated if anyone in their immediate vicinity in Salem suffered harm. Before Clyde departs, Everett and Chad issue their own threats, unfazed. Chad draws in a deep breath. "This needs to end," he declares. "Let's get started," Everett says. When Goldman tells Harris about her shooting at the warehouse, Harris affirms that she followed process. He informs Rafe that they will need to approach Clyde from a different direction because he will seek payment from someone when he learns about this. According to Wednesday, February 7 spoilers for Days of Our Lives, E.J. DiMera will irritate Stefan DiMera about the most recent drug bust and all the drama he's involved in. By the end of it all, E.J. will be able to make Stefan angry about Clyde Weston and be sure that his brother would be behind bars with Gabby Hernandez DiMera, the character last seen by Camila Banus. He is scheduled to have a private meeting with Ava Vitale with Harris Michaels, Steve Burton. Days teasers predict that although Ava may first try to avoid attention and respond coldly, she will finally give in to Harris's passionate kiss. On the upcoming Wednesday episode of DOL, John Black will withhold truths from Marlena Evans. John won't tell Marlena about his unsettling meeting with Constantine Meliones or his recent memory lapses since he doesn't want her to worry. John changed and became known as the Pawn, but he doesn't know exactly what happened and won't talk to Marlena about it. Rather, Days teasers indicate that John will get in touch with Steve Johnson and arrange to meet with him to question him about his history. Kayla Johnson may assert that she's content as long as Everett is treating Stephanie fairly, since Stephanie Johnson will confide in Kayla about falling deeply in love with Everett Lynch once more in the interim. Of course, Stephanie is unaware of certain aspects of Everett's past, such as the fact that he was previously married to Jada Hunter. We'll see how things work out between Everett and Jada in the upcoming weeks. Everett might not recall that specific period of his life either because of the issues that led to his coma and the ensuing amnesia. Johnny DiMera and Chanel Dupree will be updated on a significant development. Paulina Price will speak with Johnny and Chanel on Wednesday's episode of Days about her operation, which has been scheduled earlier. Paulina will have support from Abe Carver when she shares the news because he will be participating in the talk as well. Paulina will hear Johnny and Chanel reassure her that her health comes first, of course. Paulina might want Chanel and Johnny to put off their wedding, but she might reassure them that she'll be well enough for the big day. But according to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, things won't go as planned, so be sure to check in for all the surprises that lie ahead. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.